Hi there, team. My name is Miss Grant, and I'm going to be the mediator today for John Smith's IEP. So, my name is Miss Krantz, and I'm going to be the special education teacher that is representing. I'm also John's special education teacher, so I'll be providing his services this year. Let me go ahead and around and introduce the different members on our team so that we all have a clear understanding of who is who and what their purpose is going to serve in this meeting. So, first, I would like to introduce Miss Smith. Miss Smith is John Smith's mom, and she is going to be representing him and speaking up and advocating for his needs and what she sees at home. Next, we have Miss Johnson, and she is our general education teacher, and she is John Smith's specials teacher. She is the PE teacher, and so she sees John Smith whenever we have specials, and she is responsible for providing inclusion and teaching him physical education. Like I said, I'm Miss Krantz. I'm the special education teacher, and I'll be providing those resources. Next, I have Miss Tate, and she is going to be our LEA. She is our school vice principal, and she will be going ahead and saying what is okay and is not okay in our meeting that the district will be able to provide or not provide based on the resources that are available to us. And lastly, I have Mr. Corey, which is our school psychologist, and he's going to be helping us go over the test results that we got back from John's evaluations. And he's just going to be a neutral third party that goes ahead and mediates. And he also does pop in class and does have a relationship with John. So he will be able to also advocate from that from both a professional and a personal perspective. Before we get this meeting started, I would like to go ahead and talk about some norms that we will want to include in this meeting. So as you can tell, we are virtual still because of COVID. So we're on Google Classroom, or not Google Classroom, Google Meets. With Google Meets, I can see that all of you already have your cameras on, and I just want to say that we should all remain on camera so that we are all present and taking responsibility, as this is John's education, and we want to ensure that it is being taken care of at the best possible way. So like I said, show yourself on your camera and keep yourself muted unless you are speaking up, just so that we don't hear background noise, and that when someone is speaking, that they have the floor completely. Next, I would also like to say that the purpose of this meeting is we are advocating for John's needs in the classroom based on his abilities in his disability. So the focus of this meeting is not to give opinions, to fight, or to give any personal background other than what contributes to John's needs in his academic success. Next, I would like to advocate that all of us avoid any multitasking because, like I said, this is for John's education, so we need to remain on task at hand so that not only we can ensure undivided attention for John and that he receives the best possible outlook as possible in the whole team's attention, but that we can also do this in a timely manner in the event that we need to review the IEP or that we need to go ahead and relook at what we have pre-written down. Lastly, I would like to advocate that we all participate in this meeting. Not only are we all required to be here by law, but that serves a purpose. We're all required to be here by law because we all serve a very important role in John's life in providing services for him and overall his educational journey. So I would like us to all participate and not only share the data that we've collected on him, how we've observed him, explain our relationships, all of that. So please just participate, listen, be active ears. All right. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump in to John's present levels of academic and functional performance, which we know as his PLAF. So I'm going to go ahead and read over that really quickly so that we can know where John stands academically and functionally, so that we are aware of what he is and is not capable of, so that we can set appropriate goals. This is not an initial meeting, it is an addendum. So this means that John in preschool, and he had developmental preschool, that he was given an IEP based on what he showed to be what he showed as a successful goal that he could accomplish. And super excitingly, he was able to accomplish this goal in the first quarter of school. So we still have 3 quarters to continue rolling on. So we're going to go ahead and create an addendum so that John can have more goals to accomplish through this school year and so that he can keep moving forward. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and read his functional performance. Let me go ahead and scroll to see what we had written. So in John's reading section, John was able to name 20 or more letters. He has an age-appropriate schema for reading as he understands reading a book from left to right, top to bottom. So he understands the concept of how to read, and he can name 20 or more letters. He is able to draw people, stick figures. He can point to different body parts and identify them. And he can also identify several animals in a book and pair them by their color. John really loves dinosaurs, and he knows the name of various different types, which is super amazing. And he also knows the names of several other animals such as bat, dog, cat, frog, spider, and so on. He also knows several ocean animals such as dolphin, shark. So he just has a very wide variety of understanding his animals and the different characteristics of them. It looks like we have documented here that John's dad got him a cartoon projector, so he likes to watch this in his room. At home, John does have difficulty completing multiple tasks without whining. It looks like, we have observed that John does carry around a stuffed monkey, which he calls Freddie. Freddie is a awesome part of our classroom, and actually, from when this IEP was written till now, John has actually left the stuffed monkey at home, so this is an adjustment I can make to the present levels. So John does not depend on the stuffed monkey, which this IEP listed he did, which he does not anymore. So that is a progression in his functioning. It also looks like he is challenged with consistently matching items such as comb, brush, bowl, and plate, which is something we've been working on and he is slowly making strides towards. It also looks like he had struggles with more or less, which pile is more, which pile is less, but this is actually something that I believe that is no longer a struggle for John, which is super amazing to see the progress. Because like I said, this IEP was written back in May and it is barely gonna be December. So that is just amazing. Next, this IEP listed out that he is able to sort out objects by physical characteristics, but he does struggle with the expectation to build blocks, even when given an adult model. This is something he still kind of struggles with, but is making strides towards as we work during playtime with Lego blocks. This IEP states that he benefits from picture symbols and visuals to facilitate more meaningful communication with his peers and teachers, and it also helps with his engagement, attention, comprehension, and aid in development of routine expectations and transitions. This I still believe to be true based on the data that I've collected from him over this quarter and a half that we've been together. John's writing skills, he is able to use crayons to attempt to make marks on paper, and he's continuing to develop this. John is actually now able to completely write his name on his own without even tracing, which is super awesome. He's able to draw circles, eyes, mouths, and so forth. And so before I continue to move forward, because like I said, that was his reading, I want to go ahead and read the test results that we got back from his evaluation so that we can go ahead and tie that together. Let me go ahead and track that down. So it actually appears that we do not have specific testing towards him as he is still in preschool. So therefore he hasn't been able to participate in district and school level testing or state. But with that being said, I'll go over the goal that he has in language arts, which he has already accomplished, and that's what we'll be discussing in this meeting today, is writing him a new goal. But John's goal was to demonstrate a knowledge of the alphabet through identifying the letters of the alphabet and producing the correct sounds associated with them. His goal was to complete 10 letter sounds with 100% accuracy over 4 sessions as measured by the teacher, myself, through progress monitoring. Like I said, he already accomplished this goal and more. He's able to identify 26, so the whole alphabet and all 26 letter sounds. I believe that the next step would be moving into sight words, which we've already started on. So to tie into this, I would like to go ahead and list out the services that John receives while in school, so that we can go ahead and discuss how these services can assist him in accomplishing his reading language art goal. So currently, John receives both occupational therapy, which will help with his writing with his ELA. So that would be like writing the letters and writing the sight words. He also receives speech therapy as his primary diagnosis is a speech delay. So this will help him in saying those words, and it has already greatly helped him in saying the letter sounds and the letter names. He receives services from me as his self-contained special education teacher. So he is in my classroom the entire day except for specials, which is a 45-minute period. So John receives my services as well. We still believe at this point that the least restrictive environment for John would to be still placed in self-contained, as he still has behavioral needs that cannot necessarily be fully addressed in a general education classroom. So we believe that his needs would be best met in our self-contained classroom. But one hope that I would like to add to this IEP in the addendum is starting to include him in inclusion and doing push-in with him. However, I would remain his main teacher, just adding in some push-in. Currently, he is still not eligible for extended school year. I do not believe that this diagnosis or this decision has changed, but we can discuss that as we carry on with the meeting. And lastly, I just want to double check that everyone signed the sign-in sheet virtually and that we all received the prior written notice going into this and the procedural safeguards. So once I go ahead and see that everyone has done that, then we can go ahead and continue on. But and we can still discuss whether or not this is the least restrictive environment, or if this is the if he should still not receive extended school year. However, I would say that my professional opinion has not changed on this, but by all means, we can discuss it in this addendum, and that could be changed if the team believes overall. But I would mainly like to address in adding new goals for his language arts and math, as he has accomplished both of those. Okay, so that concludes me. My name is Jessica Grants. That concludes my introduction, my reason for the meeting, which was that it was an IEP review. I went over the meeting norms, the PLAF, the LRE, the extended school year, the PWN. Now I want to go over how I would actively listen to and address the needs of families and other stakeholders through the meeting. So at one point I said what my professional opinion was when it came to the parts of the IEP that we weren't reviewing. But I then opened it up for discussion as the team, but let them know that that wasn't the main focus that the meeting was created for. So I would intend on actively listening and addressing the needs of the families by asking them how they feel, asking them what changes they've noticed in their student, as parents are the experts on their child, so they're going to know best if what we're seeing in the classroom is the same at home, and then we can go ahead and discuss the different variables. Another way that I would like to actively listen is through giving great feedback and asking questions about what the parents are saying. That way they know that I'm paying attention to what information and data they're giving me. I would address the needs of the families and the stakeholders through the meeting by asking how they're feeling and doing frequent checkups to make sure that we're all on the same page, as I would hate to continue rolling through the meeting and then after the meeting or at the very end have everyone be like, wait, that's not what I was thinking. So I would, like I said, do frequent checkups, ask questions, and just show that I'm proactively listening and wanting to double check what I'm hearing from them. Overall, that's how I would introduce myself and get the ball rolling. Obviously, I would not be talking consistently as there would be other points for people to butt in. But if in this event where it's just myself, that's how I would do it. Thank you.